Your brain is running a trap right now, and the scarier part is that it feels exactly like clarity. Ray Dalio lost everything because of it, not from ignorance, from certainty. In 1982, he was the smartest guy in the room. He had the models, the data, the track record, and he was completely catastrophically wrong, in direct proportion to how confident he felt. That's not bad luck. That's a specific neural mechanism, and it's running in your brain right now about something financial in your life. Here's exactly what it is, and the system Dalio built to escape it. In 1982, Ray Dalio made the biggest financial prediction of his career. He went on television. He called every major financial contact he had, and he told them all the same thing. The United States economy was heading into a depression. Not a recession, a depression. He was so confident in his analysis that he bet everything on it. His firm's money, his own money, his reputation. He was completely, catastrophically wrong. The economy didn't collapse, it boomed, and Ray Dalio lost almost everything. He had to let go of his entire staff. He had to borrow $2,000 from his father just to pay his family's bills. The firm he had built from scratch from a 2-bedroom apartment in New York was gone. He was 33 years old, broke, and professionally humiliated on a national scale. Most people in that position would have found a safer career, something with a salary, something with predictable outcomes, something that didn't require betting everything on predictions that could be devastatingly wrong. Ray Dalio went in the opposite direction, not because he was stubborn, not because he had no other options, because the failure forced him to confront something about his own brain that changed everything about how he thought, invested, and eventually built one of the largest and most successful hedge funds in history. What he discovered was a biological trap, a specific hardwired neural mechanism that had caused his catastrophic error, and that causes most people to lose money, make bad decisions, and repeat the same financial mistakes throughout their entire lives. In this video, we're going to explain exactly what that trap is. We're going to go deep into the neuroscience of overconfidence, pattern recognition bias, and what happens in your brain when certainty feels like clarity. And we're going to show you the specific system Ray Dalio built to escape the trap, and how you can build your own version of it. By the end of this video, you will understand one of the most dangerous things your brain does with financial information, and you will have a concrete framework to protect yourself from it. This is neural wealth. Let's get into it. Ray Dalio grew up in a middle-class neighborhood in Long Island, New York. His father was a jazz musician, his mother was a homemaker. They weren't wealthy, but they were stable. And Dalio grew up with the particular confidence of someone who had never experienced genuine financial catastrophe firsthand. He started investing at 12 years old, buying shares in Northeast Airlines with money he had earned caddying at a golf course. The airline subsequently got acquired and his shares tripled. His first investment was a win. This detail matters enormously, not because of what it taught him about investing, but because of what it taught his brain. When a prediction is followed by a reward, the brain does something very specific. The dopamine system fires. The neural pathway associated with the prediction-making process gets strengthened. And crucially, the brain begins to associate the feeling of confidence during prediction with the likelihood of being correct. In plain terms, being right feels a certain way, and the brain learns that when things feel that way, they probably are right. This is the biological trap. Because the feeling of confidence and the reality of accuracy are not the same thing. They feel the same from the inside, but they are completely independent variables. Dalio spent the next 20 years becoming increasingly sophisticated as an analyst and increasingly confident in his analytical frameworks. He developed complex models for predicting economic cycles. He studied historical data with obsessive depth. He built an intellectual architecture that felt, from the inside, like genuine insight. And it was genuine insight. For a long time, it worked. The problem is what happened neurologically when it worked. Every time his predictions proved correct, the pathway strengthened. The confidence-accuracy association deepened. Until by 1982, his confidence in his depression call wasn't just intellectual, it was visceral. It felt like knowing. But here's the neuroscience of what was actually happening. The human brain is a prediction machine. Its primary function, more fundamental than rational analysis, more fundamental than language, is to predict what comes next based on what has happened before. This predictive function runs continuously, mostly below the level of conscious awareness, and produces the subjective experience we call intuition. When an expert in any domain, investing, medicine, military strategy, chess, develops strong intuitions, those intuitions are the product of the brain's pattern recognition system having been trained on thousands of examples until it can identify relevant patterns automatically and generate predictions without requiring conscious deliberation. This is a powerful capability. Expert intuition is genuinely useful, but it has a catastrophic failure mode. The pattern recognition system cannot distinguish between patterns that are real and patterns that are artifacts of limited data. It cannot tell the difference between a genuine causal relationship and a coincidence that appeared repeatedly in the dataset it was trained on. And it cannot account for conditions that are outside the range of its training data. Situations that look similar to past patterns but that contain novel elements the system has never encountered. In 1982, Dalio's pattern recognition system had identified what looked like all the right signals for an economic downturn. And it was right that the signals were there. What it couldn't account for was the Federal Reserve's capacity to respond in ways that hadn't occurred in the historical data he had studied. His pattern recognition was running perfectly. The pattern it had recognized just didn't apply to the current situation. And because the system was running below the level of conscious awareness, producing a feeling of certainty rather than a consciously constructed argument, he had no way to interrogate it. The certainty felt like insight. He didn't know he was looking at a failure mode. This is the biological trap, and it is not unique to Ray Dalio in 1982. It is running in your brain right now about something. Let's make this concrete. The same neural mechanism produces a specific pattern in personal finance. You make a type of investment, a category of stock, a real estate approach, a business model, and it works. Your brain records the pattern. The confidence accuracy association forms. The next time you see a similar situation, the pattern recognition system fires, produces a feeling of certainty, and you act on it. This works well as long as conditions remain within the range of your training data. The moment conditions shift outside that range, your pattern recognition system continues producing certainty, because it cannot distinguish between genuine pattern recognition and false pattern recognition, while your actual accuracy rate collapses. Most people who experience a major financial loss had a preceding period of wins that felt like evidence of real skill. The wins were real. The skill was partly real. What wasn't real was the certainty that the same approach would work in conditions that had quietly changed. Now let's talk about what Dalio built from the ruins of 1982. After the failure, Dalio went through what he would later describe as one of the most painful and most important experiences of his life. Not the financial pain, though that was real. The epistemic pain, the confrontation with the specific, undeniable evidence that his brain had been wrong in proportion to how certain it had felt. He built a system, and that system became the foundation of Bridgewater Associates, which at its peak managed over $160 billion and maintained one of the best long-term performance records of any hedge fund in history. The system had three core components, each one directly targeting a specific failure mode of the biological trap. The first was radical transparency combined with structured disagreement. Dalio's response to discovering that his own certainty was unreliable was not to become less certain. It was to create an environment in which his certainty was systematically challenged by people who were specifically tasked with finding the flaws in his reasoning. At Bridgewater, every major investment thesis had to survive a process of structured adversarial review, not polite pushback. Genuine intellectual combat, where the goal of the reviewer was to find every possible flaw, weakness, and incorrect assumption in the analysis. This is not natural. The brain finds disagreement threatening. The amygdala treats challenges to our beliefs with some of the same neural machinery it uses for physical threats. There is genuine psychological discomfort in submitting your confident conclusions to systematic attack. Dalio trained himself and his team to treat that discomfort as a signal of productive work rather than a threat. When the disagreement was most intense, when the challenge to his analysis was most uncomfortable, that was evidence that something important was being examined. In neuroscience terms, he was deliberately overriding the amygdala's defense of his existing beliefs and forcing the prefrontal cortex to process the challenging information rather than suppress it. The second component was systematic documentation of predictions and outcomes. Every significant prediction made at Bridgewater was recorded, not after the fact, before it. The specific expectation, the specific reasoning, the specific conditions under which the prediction would be proven wrong. Then outcomes were tracked against predictions, rigorously and publicly. This created a feedback system that the brain's natural architecture actively resists building, because the default is to remember your accurate predictions and misremember or forget your inaccurate ones. This is not dishonesty. It is a documented feature of memory called hindsight bias, which causes the brain to retroactively adjust its memory of past predictions to match what actually happened. By recording predictions before outcomes, Dalio made hindsight bias impossible. The record was immutable, and the consistent review of that record, seeing exactly where the prediction was right and where it was wrong, at what frequency, under what conditions, gave his brain accurate training data rather than the distorted version that memory naturally produces. The third component was what Dalio called diversification of bets, combined with explicit acknowledgement of uncertainty. After 1982, Dalio restructured how he thought about investment positions. Rather than making large, concentrated bets based on high-confidence predictions, he built a framework, which he eventually called the all-weather portfolio, designed to perform across a wide range of economic conditions, including conditions he couldn't predict. The intellectual move here is significant. He stopped trying to predict which specific economic conditions would occur and started building systems that would be durable across the full range of possible conditions. This shift is neurologically significant because it required overriding the brain's natural preference for confident prediction. The brain finds uncertainty aversive. It prefers to resolve uncertainty through confident analysis, even when that confidence is unjustified. Building a system explicitly designed around uncertainty acknowledgement requires continuously suppressing that preference. Over decades, with consistent practice, Dalio trained his brain to find uncertainty not aversive but intellectually interesting, to treat the limits of his knowledge not as threats to be defended, but as territories to be mapped. This reframe, from uncertainty as threat to uncertainty as information, is one of the most powerful cognitive shifts available in financial decision-making. Now let's make this directly applicable to your situation. You don't need to run a hedge fund to use what Dalio discovered. The three components of his system translate directly to individual financial practice. The first is to create a structured challenge process for your financial decisions. Before any significant financial commitment, investment, business decision, major purchase, you need a minimum of one person whose job is to find everything wrong with the reasoning. Not someone who will be supportive. Someone who will be genuinely adversarial in their analysis. If you don't have that person in your life, you can create a version of it yourself through what's called steel manning, constructing the strongest possible argument against your own position before acting on it. Not a weak version of the counter-argument that you can easily dismiss. The strongest version you can build engaging with your own best reasoning at its most challenging level. The discomfort of this process is the signal that it's working. The second is to start a prediction journal. Every financial prediction you make, this investment will return X%, this business decision will produce Y result, this market will move in Z direction by this date, Write it down before the outcome is known. Include your reasoning and your confidence level. Review quarterly. The data will show you with a clarity that no amount of self-reflection can produce where your pattern recognition is genuinely skilled and where it is producing false certainty. This is not a comfortable exercise. That is exactly why it is valuable. The third is to explicitly build for uncertainty rather than trying to eliminate it. In practice, this means ensuring that your financial position is not catastrophically dependent on any single prediction being correct. If your entire financial plan requires a specific investment to perform in a specific way, you have concentrated your exposure to your own prediction accuracy in a way that the biological trap will eventually exploit. Diversification is not just a financial principle, it is a neurological protection mechanism, a structural acknowledgement that the certainty your brain generates is not always matched by the accuracy of its predictions. Ray Dalio lost everything at 33 years old because his brain's biological architecture produced certainty about something that turned out to be wrong. He rebuilt everything and built something far greater because he used that failure to understand the trap clearly enough to build a system that worked around it. The trap hasn't changed. It is still running in every brain, including yours, including right now. But the system is available. And systems beat biology. Subscribe to Neural Wealth. Because the most dangerous thing in your financial life is not the market. It is the certainty your own brain generates about the market. Think richer. Rewire wealth.